18 months ago, the Presbytery of Central Queensland presented a significantly doom and gloom report to Synod. Our region was in the midst of a severe drought, with profound impact not just on property owners and their families, but also on whole communities. Many properties tried buying feed from elsewhere, but this was very expensive and total destocking became common. The drought has continued, and although some properties have now received rainfall, and in some cases good falls, there are still others who have received little or none. Those who did receive rain will still need more to follow up and help restore the land. At the same time, the mining downturn contributed to community breakdown. Increasing fly-in, fly-out practices, including some company policies which employed only FIFO staff to the exclusion of any local residents, meaning that if you live in Brisbane you can get a mining job in Moranbah, but if you live in Moranbah you cannot. This already had a negative impact, and further disruption was caused as mines either closed completely or cut back production. Support with storm damage to buildings and flood damage to rural properties that added to already damaged property from other recent floods. However, that is not the whole story. Rain has come. Properties are in recovery mode. Cyclone and flood damage is easier to repair than the impact of drought. Congregations and communities have been assisted by individuals and the wider church community. The Assembly National Disaster Fund has given significant financial assistance to a number of places, and the Church has been active in distributing this assistance to the places where it has been needed most. The Presbytery has also received gifts from UCA members, congregations, and other presbyteries. When communities have been affected the way some have been in Central Queensland, by far the best practical support is not to send goods, but to send money, which can be used in the local community to support businesses which are also struggling to keep local employment, or even simply to survive. These offerings from others have been greatly appreciated and are a reminder that we are not alone. There is a community of faith which upholds us in prayer as well as in other ways. Our previous Presbytery report spoke very clearly of the difficulties we were experiencing in getting ministers for our congregations. There is great rejoicing that this problem has been addressed. Most congregations which can afford ministers now have a minister in placement, and thanks must go to those who have responded to the call to leave behind what is familiar and come to live and minister in what may seem very unfamiliar environments. The present placement situation is not going to last, however. We know that with rural downturn, ministry in the form it has taken in the past will not be possible. There are significant property matters to be resolved, many to do with long-term leases which are nearing their expiry date. And also, there are underutilised buildings which are costly to maintain. The population seems to be more of a transient nature as time goes by, and a number of essential services have disappeared from towns, particularly those in the west. Despite this, there is still a strong feeling, even an expectation within some congregations, that the long-standing traditional approach to ministry should be maintained. The Presbytery has held some workshops endeavouring to assess the best way for ministry to continue so that congregation members can be resourced to be the people of God in their community, worshipping, witnessing and serving as UCA members are expected to do. It is clear that in trying to assess the way for the future, much work will still need to be done with each community and with congregations directly, exploring new possibilities, new resourcing practices, and the manner in which support may be sought and given. For this reason, the Presbytery made application last year for a strategic grant to enable us to explore possibilities for the future. Utilising this grant and also Presbytery resources, the Reverend Arthur Tooten will be employed for a term to work through these issues with congregations. Central Queensland Presbytery has been through a lot in recent years, but the help of the wider church has been much appreciated. The signs of hope are clearly evident and are helping to lift spirits. We do give thanks to God for the presence of the Spirit, our Spirit friend which befriends and helps us, recreates and guides us, enlivens, sanctifies and enlightens us.